Toronto FC faced a lot of challenges in the 2021 season due to injuries, transfers, and international duty. Many of their key players missed significant time or left the club altogether. Here are some of the ways Toronto FC coped with the loss of their stars and gave opportunities to young and new players to step up. One of the biggest losses for Toronto FC was Jefferson Soteldo, who transferred to Tigres UANL in Mexico after only 15 games with the club. Soteldo was a dynamic winger who scored 4 goals and added 6 assists for Toronto FC. He was also a designated player, meaning he took up one of the 3 slots for high-paid players on the roster. To fill his void, Toronto FC relied on other attackers like Jonathan Osorio, Alejandro Pozuelo, and Ao Akinola. They also gave more minutes to Jacob Schaffelberg, a 22-year-old Canadian who scored 3 goals and added 4 assists. In another major blow for Toronto FC was the injury of Ao Akinola, who suffered an anterior cruciate ligament (ACL) injury in July while playing for Canada at the CONCACAF Gold Cup. Akinola was a promising young striker who scored 9 goals in 2020 and was expected to lead the line for Toronto FC. In his injury left Toronto FC with only one experienced centre forward, Josie Altidore, who also struggled with injuries and form throughout the season. To cope with the lack of depth at striker, Toronto FC signed C.J. Sapong from Nashville SC in August. Sapong scored 6 goals in 14 games for Toronto FC and became a regular starter. They also gave chances to Jordan Peruzza, a 21-year-old academy product who scored his first MLS goal in October. Toronto FC also had to deal with the absence of several defenders due to injuries, transfers, and international duty. Chris Mavinga, Omar Gonzalez, Eric Zavaleta, and Oro were all unavailable for long stretches of the season. Mavinga and Gonzalez were both out of contract at the end of the season and did not return to the club. Zavaleta left for El Salvador's national team in September and did not play again for Toronto FC. Oro missed several games due to visa issues and injuries. To cope with the defensive crisis, Toronto FC signed Mark-Anthony Kaye from Colorado Rapids and Sigurd Rosted from Brøndby in August. Kaye is a versatile midfielder who can also play as a centre-back or a left-back. Rosted is a Norwegian centre-back who brought experience and leadership to the back line. They also promoted Caden Chung and Rocco Romeo from their second team, Toronto FC2, to provide depth at right-back and centre-back respectively. Toronto FC had a difficult season in 2021, finishing 8th in the Eastern Conference and missing the playoffs for the second consecutive year. However, they also showed resilience and adaptability in coping with the loss of key players due to injuries, transfers, and international duty. They gave opportunities to young and new players to step up and prove themselves at the highest level. They also made some smart signings to strengthen their squad for the future. Toronto FC fans can hope that their team will bounce back stronger in 2022 with a new coach, Bob Bradley, and a revamped roster.